What if I told you that the most powerful technology on the planet, once totally locked down by just a few giant companies, was suddenly handed over to, well, to everyone? It sounds like science fiction, right? But it's not. This is the real story of 2025, the year the future of AI completely changed course. Let's get into it.
So just stop and think about this for a second. What would actually happen if creating a truly brilliant AI wasn't behind some impossibly high paywall? What would you build? What problems would you try to solve? Because that's the exact reality we all woke up to. And believe me, it changed everything.
Until very, very recently, this was the price of admission. $1 billion. That was basically the cover charge to join the most exclusive club in the world, the $1 billion AI Club. If you wanted to even think about creating a top-of-the-line AI model, you needed a budget that looked more like the GDP of a small country. This right here was the old world. A time when making a world-class AI meant you had to build these colossal server farms and just spend unbelievable amounts of cash. It was a game that only a handful of tech giants could ever afford to play. And it completely locked out all these brilliant minds at universities, startups, and even in smaller nations. And I mean, the difference is just night and day. We went from this slow, exclusive game that only a few could play to a wide-open race where progress is now measured in weeks, not years. The very idea of AI power shifted from being this scarce, hoarded thing to something that's becoming abundant and really within anyone's reach. So how on earth did that happen? Wow, the entire rulebook was basically torn up and rewritten. It all happened because of two critical breakthroughs that landed in late 2024 and early 2025. And these weren't just small steps forward. They were like seismic shifts that completely upended the science and, maybe more importantly, the economics of building AI. Okay, so let's start with the first shockwave, this number right here. Instead of $1 billion, the final training run for a frontier model from a company called DeepSeek cost just $5.6 million. That's a drop of over 99%. All of a sudden, the keys to the kingdom weren't $1 billion anymore. The door to that exclusive club had just been blown completely off its hinges. So how did they pull that off? This was breakthrough number one. They figured out how to train AI smarter, not just harder. Think of it like this. For years, the only way to make a car go faster was to build a bigger, more powerful gas-guzzling engine. This was like someone inventing a super efficient, lightweight engine that was not only faster, but used a tiny fraction of the fuel. Suddenly, efficiency didn't just compete with brute force. It left it in the dust. Now, the second breakthrough was, if you can believe it, even more profound. It was a whole new way to teach an AI how to think. Okay, imagine instead of just telling a student, good job, you gave them a perfect answer key to every single math problem. You don't give them points for trying, you only reward them when the final answer is 100% correct. What happens? Well, the AI quickly figures out that the best way to guarantee that reward is to show its work, to lay out its chain of thought. And just like that, it starts learning how to reason all on its own. And this really gets to the core of it. What this means is the AI learns from pure, cold, hard facts, not from some human's fuzzy opinion. It doesn't matter how it gets the right answer, just that it does. And the absolute best part, this brilliant new teaching method costs less than $300,000 to upgrade a pretty basic model into a reasoning powerhouse. Just incredible. So you've got the cost barrier completely obliterated, and now there's a cheap, super effective training method available to basically everyone. What happens next? The floodgates just burst open. What followed was an explosion of innovation, an AI gold rush unlike anything the world had ever seen. And the pace was just breathtaking. I mean, look at this. In January, the new technique is proven to work. By the middle of the year, labs all over the world are already replicating it, applying it to other popular AIs that were already out there. And then, by the end of the year, one final piece of the puzzle fell into place that put this power directly into all of our hands. It's a concept called distillation, and it is so cool. Think of it like taking all the knowledge of a genius professor, decades of experience, deep insights, everything, and somehow condensing it down into a tiny textbook that fits right in your pocket. That's what distillation does for AI. It takes the awesome reasoning power of a giant, expensive model and packs it into a small, super efficient version that can run right on your laptop or even your phone. And well, that brings us to today. Here in 2026, we are living in the world that this revolution created. It's a world with way more power, a whole new set of winners, and the real tangible presence of AI in our daily lives.
So, what does this actually look like for us? For you, it means we're seeing new and better AI models coming out not every year, but every few months. It means we now have AI that can help you write code for a video game, predict the next big market trend, or discover new life-saving drugs. It means that super smart assistant on your phone, it's now running on your phone, not in some faraway data center. And maybe most importantly, it means we're solving some of the biggest challenges in science and medicine way faster than we ever thought was possible. Now, of course, a revolution this big is gonna create new winners and losers. So who's winning in this new world? Well, the companies making the brains, the powerful computer chips, and the companies building the massive server farms where these AIs train. Also, any company that's clever about weaving this powerful AI right into their software. And who's feeling the pressure? The companies who are pretty much just acting as gatekeepers, selling access to their one big AI model. Why? Because now, powerful AI is pretty much everywhere. What this all boils down to is that we have fundamentally moved from an age of AI scarcity to an age of AI abundance. The ability for a machine to reason isn't some rare or precious thing anymore. It's becoming a utility, almost as common and as essential as electricity. This chart really says it all, doesn't it? The cost to get to the cutting edge has absolutely plummeted. At the same time, the pace of innovation and the sheer availability of powerful AI reasoning have just skyrocketed. This is the new world we live in. It's a world that's not defined by who can afford AI, but by who can use it most creatively. And that leaves us with the most exciting question of all. Now that the power to build something with genius-level reasoning is in the hands of so many more people, what's next? What are the grand challenges we're finally going to solve? What new frontiers will we explore? That is the story that's still being written.